For those that just came in, kind of the same usual, a pair of blocks. Let's see. Yeah, camera facing the side profile of the training space. I will need wall space. If you need to, towel for your knee or cushion, whatever cushion or towel needed for your knee, because there will be a fair bit of kneeling done. So yep, just in case you need it. If you're fine with kneeling on the floor on your mat, then just leave it as it is. Let's wait for about 2 more minutes to let the rest of them come in. Just to remind, another round, because there's more people coming in, I will need a pair of blocks, which I think most of you have. I will need wall space. That's the second thing. Camera facing the side profile of your training space, if your house space allows you to do so. Then lastly, towel. Towel is just in case you are not comfortable with kneeling on the floor. It's uncomfortable doing so. So otherwise, if you're okay with kneeling on the floor, then it's fine. Don't have to get anything for that. Let's wait for about 1 or 2 more minutes maybe. If you have questions, injuries, more specifically injuries, please let me know now. Let's see. Okay lah, let's not wait. There's a few new faces, so I'll just run through the same usual announcements anyways. The general format of the class will be as such. When I'm doing the exercise, you will sit and watch. Then once it's your turn to do, I will watch you. All right. So there will be parts of the class towards the end where you're gonna work at your own pace. So when that time comes, then rest and do where you need to and you are ready. Okay. So if you have injuries, please let me know now. You can either unmute your mic to tell me now, or you can message me. If you decide to message me though, please message the Motion Movement account. Don't message my name, or I can't see your message because that account is attached to my recording device. Last thing, questions at any point of the class, let me know, either by unmuting your mic to ask or by typing to me, same thing. It may take a bit of time for me to respond depending on which points you decide to ask me at. Yeah, okay, so let's get started. The main focus of today's class will be on your bridge stuff. There will be a lot of holds for today, not so much of repetition, but more holds. So just to let you know what's to come. Now, first thing we're going to start with right off the bat will be your single leg glute bridge. Yeah. So how far you position your feet will be as such. I will ask for you to wriggle your heels all the way towards your bum first. Then from there, you will wriggle away from the bum just by a few steps, such that when I get into the single leg glute bridge, which I'll do so now, I tuck my right knee into my chest and I push up. My feet is directly stuck underneath my knee. So I don't want it to be too close like this, neither do I want it to be too far. All right, so get in position. I want your hands to be on the floor to help you to push the hips higher. So hips as high up as possible. Push your chest towards your chin, trying to touch your chest towards your chin. Okay, so 40 seconds for this. We are going for 2 rounds of the following exercises. This is the first one out of the 2. So ready? Right knee in, push from left leg in 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Hands on the floor so that you can help yourself to push the left hip up even higher. I want it as high as possible. If I were to check from the side view right now, I should see that your hips is horizontally aligned with your left knee. So if you are not pushing to your highest, please do so. Also, the higher you push, the closer you get your chest to the chin. So take note of that as well. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Rest. Good. Switch the other leg. Okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. So just to remind, there will be lots of holds today. Depending on what hold it is, I will prompt with every set on what you should take note of to try to move deeper. Otherwise, for this one, pretty simple. Press through your hands to help with pushing the hips high up. You want to try to get the hips at the same level horizontally as the right knee. You also want to try to touch your chest to your chin as you push your hips up high. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. That was the first exercise. So second exercise, we'll start with your right leg against the wall first. Let me think. No, left leg. My bad. So right leg in front, left leg behind. This is where I mentioned about kneeling on the floor. So ideally, your knees will be positioned all the way into the corner of the wall. But take note of this first. I want you to be able to move into this upright position here. So torso vertically upright. Then you're going to try to push your hips forward. And as you're doing so, try to tuck the tailbone under, squeezing the abs tight. So I want you to physically feel tension in the abs as you try to push the hips forward. Tension in the abs as you push the hips forward. All right. So now to get to the positioning of the knees, if some of you with your knees up against the wall, you struggle to come upright, immediately adjust. Position it a bit further away from the wall so that you can get upright like this. Okay. So take note. Otherwise, let's get into position. We are going to hold here for 40 seconds, pushing the hips forward and away from the wall. Okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. So I want you to rotate the hips, tucking the tailbone under and trying to squeeze the lower abs tightly as best as possible. Then you're going to push the right hip forward, pushing the left hip forward. Push the left hip forward and pushing your left shin against the wall. So left hip forward, pushing your left shin against the wall. If you need to allow more space to move deeper into the stretch, you can do so by wriggling the right foot forward so that you can allow space for deeper stretch. Let's hold this for another 5 more seconds. Remember, squeeze your abs tight. 3, 2, 1, switch sides. Adjust the hips and the lumbar spine first, then you try to push the hips forward. I want you to try to feel tension in the abs, like I've repeatedly reminded over your 40 seconds hold. All right, ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Squeeze the lower abs tight first, trying to tuck the tailbone under your body. Then from there, push the right hip forward, pushing the right shin against the wall as you push the right hip forward. About 20 more seconds to hold this. Christina, push your hips further forward. I'm sure you can. There we go. Keep trying to squeeze the abs tight. Push the right hip forward to get the butt away from the wall and press through the right shin to get your butt even further away from the wall. 3, 2, 1, rest. Good. That was round 1. I'm only going to go for one more round of these 2 exercises. So coming back to your glute bridge here. Remember, push hips as high as possible. Okay, come, let's go. Ready. In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. As high as possible, actively try to tuck your right knee towards your chest. Press through your hands to try to get the left hip as high up towards the ceiling as you possibly can. Ten more seconds for this. 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. Good. Switch the other side. Okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Bend the right knee, no, left knee, sorry. Bend the left knee, knees to chest, push the right hip up towards the ceiling as much as possible, trying to get the chest to the chin. Singy higher, hips high, yeah, there we go. Haley higher, yes, any higher, yep. 6 more seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, good. Okay, over back to the wall. So left shin against the wall, right leg in front. Remember, the torso has to be upright. And when I refer to torso, I'm referring to where your belly button faces. So I don't want you to tilt your belly button down towards the floor. Take note of that. I don't want to see belly button tilted down to the floor. Okay, ready? The rest of you. 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Your belly button has to be facing the front. I know some of you are flexible in the upper spine, so you end up contorting the spine into a diagonal angle. So take note of where your belly button faces. So Valerie, you can be more upright. Yeah, there we go. Then from here, squeeze the abs tight like I've reminded time and again. Then push your left hip forward, pushing your left shin against the wall as you try to push the left hip forward. About 10 more seconds to hold this. Three, 2, 1, rest. Good. Switch the other side. Okay, come. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Squeeze the abs tight. So Singy, you can be a little more upright. Yep, correct. And push right hip forward. Pushing the right shin against the wall as you try to push the right hip forward even more. If you need to make space for a deeper stretch, you can do so. by wriggling your left foot forward. 15 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Rest. Okay, next 3 rounds. We're gonna start with the back bend stuff. So first exercise, I'm gonna pair it up with some core stuff. So first exercise, it will be this. Like I said, there will be a lot of isometric holds today. So first hold will be this. You're gonna place your arms, the back of the head, shoulders, and spine on the floor. And your leg starts in this position, pointing up to the ceiling. So as best as possible, you're gonna try to tuck the tailbone under to press lower back onto the floor, squeezing the abs tight. Then maintain lower back press onto the floor as you lower the legs down to your lowest point. I know some of you are strong enough, so if you're able to, hover it like 1 cm off the floor in this position, 30 seconds. Okay? If you can't go that low, then it's fine, whatever is your lowest position. Okay? Take note. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Head stays on the floor, shoulder stays on the floor. The only thing that's off the floor are the legs. So go to your lowest position and you stay there for time. Lowest position, stay there for time. Make sure your lower back is pressed firmly onto the floor with whatever leg position you're working with. So if I was to be beside you right now and I try to slide my hands underneath your lower back, I shouldn't be able to do so at all. About 10 more seconds to work with. Legs together. 3, 2, 1. Okay, good. That was the first position. Second position to hold. I will ask for you to use a block so that it helps give feedback on what you're doing with the arms and stuff. So you're gonna switch your body orientation. This is one of the exercises that I normally would use quite commonly. So let's have left leg behind, right leg in front against the wall. So when I mean against the wall, I should see knees and toes be in contact with the wall. Okay, so go into a deepest lunge position. So move your left knee far behind as much as possible. Then you're gonna tuck your toes under or point up to you. Then you're gonna back bend and hold. All right, so as for the arms, you're gonna hold on to the block, punch it out, look at the block, then you're gonna hold. Okay, so let's work with this position for 30 seconds. The reason why I'm working with the block, number 1 is to fix your arm at a certain width. Number 2, to help keep your arm straight. And then number 3, to help give you a feedback tool to try to reach the block towards the floor. Okay, let's go. Okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Look at the block, make sure you keep your arms straight. You lead the back bend through the arms. Try to reach your arms back, try to look back as much as possible, and try to extend from the spine as you try to get the hands lower and lower and lower towards the floor. Find a position that you can manage to last for the whole 30 seconds. Keep your knees in contact with the wall. 3, 2, 1, and rest. 30 seconds break. Will probably take a bit of time for you to slowly ease into it, which is why we are going for 3 rounds. So take a short break, 20 more seconds to rest. You can slowly switch legs, kneel down and pray if you want to, because you're already dying. Okay, ready? Let's go. In 3, 2, 1, and I start now. Keep your left knee pinned onto the wall. Reach the arms back. Look up. at the block or the space beyond the blocks. Then try to reach the arms down towards the floor. Lift the chest up. Get the arms even lower towards the floor. Squeeze the back. Get the arms even lower to the floor. 7 more seconds to work with. Okay, rest. That was round 1. All right. So 2 more rounds to go. It is just switching between that long hollow hole, lying face up to a ceiling, and then coming back to the lunge. All good? Come. Let's proceed to lie back down on the floor. Okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Head and arm stays on the floor. Lower your legs to your lowest point. Make sure you're still trying to squeeze the abs, tuck the tailbone under to press lower back firmly onto the floor. Three, 2, 1. Good. Rest. And slowly make your way over to the lunge. Remember, right leg in front, left leg behind. You have to pin your right knee against the wall. Okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Toes pointed or tucked under for the back leg, it's up to you. Look at the block, keep reaching the arms back. As you reach the arms back more, lift the chest up even higher. Keep looking back, keep reaching the arms back towards the floor. The more space you can look at the wall, space opposite of you, the lower you are bringing your arms, the lower you're bringing the body. So use what you're looking at as a visual marker as well. Okay, 30 seconds break. Christina, is the back feeling okay today? If not, remember, you bend only to a point that you can manage. Yeah? So you can start to switch to the other side and stand by. You got 10 more seconds to rest. Okay, come, let's go. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Straighten the arms, look at the block through your peripheral vision. Look out for the space beyond the block. So the more you can look at a space that's opposite of you, or the lower you can see, the lower you're bending. 8 more seconds. Continue to try to reach the arms back, lift the chest up. Keep the knees pinned on the wall while you are doing this. Okay, rest. Are we all okay? Yep, come, let's go back to the floor. Lie down, lower your legs. We get ready on the count of 3. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, and begin now. Yep, whatever is your lowest point, and stay there. Remember, the back of the head is still on the floor. And as mentioned, a lot of stuff is isometrics for today. Just giving it a try and see how it will turn out. 10 more seconds. Point your toes, keep your legs together. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, come. Let's go into your lunge. Remember, right leg in front, left leg behind first. Yep, okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. With every round, you are likely able to move into a deeper position. Now we are approaching the third round. Let's see how much deeper you can move into as compared to the first round. Keep the right knee pinned onto the wall. Straighten the arms, keep reaching the arms back. Keep trying to look at the space that's beyond you. Try to look at the corner of the floor. Okay, 30 seconds break. You can slowly switch to the other side. Ten more seconds to rest. Okay, come, ready. In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. The more you can look at the space that's opposite of you, the deeper you're bending. So you can use that as a marker too, beyond just looking at the block. 8 more seconds. You're almost done. Okay, very good. Rest. Okay, cool. Are we okay? So now we're going to move on to the upper half of the body. So here's what we are going to go on to next. So still using the block, I want you to lie prone. We're going to just isolate the shoulder stuff first, yeah? So lie prone, you're going to keep your feet down on the floor and you're going to place the lower end of the chin down on the floor as well. So do not lift the chin up as you do this exercise. So lift your arms up to its highest point, then you're going to pulse at your highest point. When you're doing so, again, remember the chin stays down on the floor. You've got to keep the arms straight. So you can either squeeze onto the block by, you can either push or pull onto the block. Sorry, not so much of a squeeze, but push or pull in order to keep your elbows straight while you're doing this pulse. Okay, 30 seconds to work with. Let's go. Okay, ready? That is the first exercise. In 3, 2, legs together, 1, and begin now. Remember the lower end of the chin is on the floor and it stays down on the floor. Lift your arms to its highest point first, then pulse at your highest point. Make sure your elbows is kept straight, so you can either push or pull onto the block. Seven more seconds. Haley, legs together. Yeah, just to remind. So later on, take note of it. Okay, so that is the first exercise. Now, second exercise. Here's what you're going to do. I'm going to have you set up in a standing variation. So for your foot, you will be positioning it about hip width apart. I would believe that gives you a little more stability as you're working with this stretch. Yeah. So How far you start from the wall is subjective to how flexible your shoulder and upper spine is. But by default, I'm gonna position you about 1, 2, maybe about 2.5 foot distance from the wall for a start. So here's what you're going to do. Arm shoulder width apart, and it's placed on the wall. You're going to look down at the floor. So you are going to make an initial adjustment here by sliding the hands down to your lowest point and allowing the bumps to move back as you do so. And your objective here is to push the crown of the head to touch the wall. All right? Objective, crown of the head to the wall. So now that I can touch, I'm going to try to move deeper into position. Slide down, move the bumps back. I will need to adjust my foot backwards to allow more space and try to touch crown of the head to the wall. So I will continue to keep adjusting until my head is almost close to the wall, but it is not touching. So that's where my stretch begins. Yeah. So I try to either push my head towards the wall to try to get it to touch, or I pause to do so. Once I'm able to touch, I continue to slide down, shift back even more to try to move deeper into position. Do I make sense so far? If I'm not making sense, please let me know immediately. Otherwise, we will get ready. Like I said, objective is to tap crown of the head onto the wall. Ready? Let's work with 45 seconds of this in 3, 2, 1, and begin now. The deeper you stretch or try to stretch, the more you may have to shift the foot backwards. Try to externally rotate the arms a little so that it helps you to keep the arms in a straight position. I do not want you to bend the elbows here. Yen, arms narrower. Yep, your arms should be shoulder width apart, everyone. 15 more seconds to go. Make sure you're keeping your arms straight. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. That was the second exercise. Then the third one that you're going to hold for time as well. You're going to position your feet against the wall. So toes on the floor, heels on the wall. This is your starting position. You're going to have your arms positioned overhead, place the bottom corner of the chin onto the floor and the chest. So you're going to hold this position with your knees off for about 45 seconds. All right. So especially since this is the first set, you may need to take a bit of time to adjust. So first 15 seconds might be for you to just work around. If you're going too close into the wall, you might have difficulty trying to lift the knees in the first place. So you may need to inch out further so that you can straighten your legs or almost straighten. If you're too far, it ends up with minimal work done for this position. So I would suggest you to try to move to your closest position first and inch your way out where necessary so that we can start on a proper note. Okay, let's go. Take your time to adjust first. I will start the timer on the count of 3. Are we all okay? 1, 2, 3, knees off and start. Yen, 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 listen. Your chin and chest must touch the floor, yen. So it's too close, move forward more. If you need to move forward more, means you need to move forward more. Haley, your chest must touch the floor. All of you, your chest must be in contact with the floor. Yep, so use the other wall space instead. I think that might be better. Or yep, adjust accordingly. So Haley, keep the chest on the floor. If you can't straighten the knees all the way, it is fine. Just stay with that slightly bent knee position. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Are we all okay? A few of you are a little confused with the exercise just because of lack of range. So later we will go through this one more time. Otherwise, round 2, back to your shoulder pulses. All right. So shoulder pulses. bottom corner of the chin on the floor, legs down on the floor and kept together. Then lift up to your highest point and pulse. Okay. With every round, because you manage to you are coupling strength with stretch exercises, you might be able to lift it a bit higher. So I want you to try to lift even higher first before you proceed to pulse. Just take note of that. Yeah. Okay. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Begin now. So try to lift your block up even higher before you proceed to pulse. I'm sure some of you are able to grab your blocks properly and firmly so that you can either choose to push or pull onto the block in order to keep your elbows straight. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Good. That was the first exercise. Second exercise, coming back into this wall stuff. So just to quickly remind, objective is to tap crown of the head onto the wall. So if you're already able to do so, then proceed to slide hands down, move the bums back, then proceed to aim to tap crown of the head to the wall at your stretching point. I would choose to pulse. Some of you may choose to just make a constant push towards the wall. Okay, so pulse or just a constant push, up to you to decide. Otherwise, ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Xing Yi, hands a bit narrower, then hands lower after that. Look down at the floor. Yep, all right. There we go. 20 more seconds for this. If you need to bend the knees slightly because the hamstring sensations is overwhelming and making you to causing you to lose focus, you can allow the knees to bend a bit. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Okay, the rest of you are doing fine. So just get ready with the setup, especially for Yen. Remember, chest must touch the floor. So you adjust accordingly such that the chest can touch the floor first. Then you try to straighten. Then if you're able to, come down, inch in even closer. Try to lift the knees off into a straight knee position. If you can, move in closer. So you will start further first. Okay, otherwise the rest of you, your deepest position in 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Your chest must physically touch the floor, Yen. No touch, no go. Yes, here. Then try to press your knees off. There we go. Yes. So depending on how much range of motion you have around the upper spine, that will determine how you experience this exercise. If you are able to go closer towards the wall, in the midst of this 45 seconds, you can choose to do so. Knees down, wriggle in closer, then try to press the knees off. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. Come, last round. Lie down, grab onto the block, back to the pulses. Okay, ready? Let's begin in 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Remember, chin, the bottom corner of the chin has to be in contact with the floor. About 15 more seconds to go. Lift even higher, then try to pulse at your highest position. It's a small pulse, 10 degrees up and down at whatever is your highest point. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Good. Back to the wall. Let's go. Okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Remember, objective is crown of the head, tap the wall. If you're already able to tap crown of the head onto the wall, don't waste time. Move the head away a little bit, slide the hands down even more, then proceed to try to pulse crown of the head towards the wall again. For 15 more seconds to work with this. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Good. Lie back down, heels against the wall. If you're able to move closer to the wall with your chest, please go ahead. I leave it up to you. Okay, let's go. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Yin, toes on the floor, heels on the wall. Toes on the floor, heels on the wall. Ah, correct. Yes. There we go. Yep. Then just hover the knees off, press the knees off by 1 inch while keeping your chest on the floor. Ah, correct. Here. Stay here, Yin. Stay here. Some of you can definitely inch closer to the wall. I see that you're keeping your legs straight pretty comfortably. So, you know, work harder. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. Okay, so it's been a while since I've done this exercise or this variant. So let's come back to it. It is going to be relatively tough. I will mention it beforehand. So I don't need the wall. I don't think we need the wall at all. So just come back to this knees, chest, chin position with your knees positioned about hip width apart. All right. So the closer you position your knees to your chest, the tougher this gets, because you are going to be lifting your arms and your chin off the floor like this. 1, 2, 3, and come down and lift up. 1, 2, 3, and come down. All right. So this is now challenging a lot on your end range strength around the upper spine and the shoulder. So listen very carefully here. I will continue to count anyways, at least for the first round. So if you are struggling to manage with this, immediately adjust, then join back in for the count. So I'm saying this because if you move in too close, you can't lift, means you can't lift. Cannot means cannot. If you need to adjust, you adjust by moving the knees further behind so that you allow more space to lift. Do I make sense? Yeah? So cannot means cannot. Means you need to adjust your knees further away from the chest. Okay, let's try. I'm going to count for 10 repetitions. Each rep, you're going to lift your arms and chin off the floor for 3 seconds.
So only chest in contact with the floor, is it?
Chest and knees.
Okay.
Correct. Chest and knees and toes. Yep. Okay, let's stand by. Ready, ready, ready. I will start in 3, 2, 1, and let's lift arms and chin off. Hold. 1, 2, 3, and back down. Second rep, angle. 2, 2, 3, and back down. Angle. 3, 2, 3, and back down. Angle. 4, 2, 3, and back down. Angle. 5, 2, 3, and down. Angle. 6, 2, 3, and down. Angle. 7, 2, 3, and down. Angle. 8, 2, 3, and down. Angle. 9, 2, 3, and down. Chin must come off the floor, yes? And last one, go. Last, 2, 3, and down. Rest. Good. And let's slowly move out of it. So I'm choosing to use this knees, chest, chin position because it blocks out your body by positioning the knees that close to the chest. So you're forced to work on the upper spine and the shoulder stuff more. Yeah? I'm going to talk about it now. Well, I've gotten enough of this feedback that if moving the knees all the way in is very painful for the chest, not that I can empathize, unfortunately, but if that's the case, then move your knees further out so that your supporting point is lower, all right? And it doesn't press onto the parts where it will cause more pain. So I'll just leave it as that first. Otherwise, yes.
Zhiqian, sorry, is your elbows off also?
Yes.
Okay.
Lifting the arms off means elbow, part of the arm must come off the floor. Okay? Okay. So second exercise, I'm going to get you into plank position just because the third exercise, I'll need you to press into your wheel pose or your bridge position, whatever you know this time. So I'm taking the time to just warm up the wrist quickly first. Okay? So that's it. Just a simple plank position. I want you to rotate the elbow pits to the front, then walk the feet forward to lean shoulders beyond the wrist, beyond the fingertips as much as possible. So I'm just getting you to take the time to hold in a lean forward position to prepare the wrist for the wheel stuff. Okay, let's go. 30 seconds of plank. Okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1, and start now. Like I said, I'm using the plank position to warm up the wrist for your wheel pose. So rotate elbow pits to the front. If you can afford to lean forward more, you're going to walk the feet forward and move the head and shoulders forward. Keep your arms straight. Grip the fingertips firmly onto the floor. Press the knuckles firmly onto the floor. 7 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, rest. Okay, good. Now comes the third position. So depending on how flexible you are, some of you may end up in a very steep angle with the wrist, which is why I put in the plank position to warm up the wrist. Okay, so that's it. You don't need the wall for today. I just want you to hold your bridge or wheel position, whatever you know this by, and I want you to hold this for 30 seconds. So tilt your chin up to try and look between the wrists. That's 1. Number 2, with your feet positioned hip width apart, you're going to try to straighten your legs and ground your heels. Once you're able to do so, maybe wriggle it in closer towards the hands, ground the heel, try to straighten the legs. Keep repeating this process. All right. For now, the main objective here is to hold this for 30 seconds. All right. So I want you to be able to last through this 30 seconds. Okay, let's go. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Keep lifting your chin up. You want to try your best to look at the space between the wrists. Legs about hip width apart, and you're going to try to ground the heels and straighten the legs. Ground the heels and straighten the legs as you continue to look between the wrists. So keep tilting the chin up. So Xingyi, walk your feet in closer. Valerie, try to straighten your legs and stay there. Okay, rest. If anyone is confused, then when we get back to this for second and third round, let me know when we get back to it. Otherwise, I will move on first. All right. So yeah, coming back to this exercise. So we got 2 more rounds to go of that lifting exercise, of the plank, then your wheel or bridge position. So like I said, I will try my best to empathize. If walking in too much is painful on the chest, then don't walk in so much so that your support point is lower down by the lower ribs instead. Then yes, you have to lift the arms as high as you can, and that includes the elbow, and you have to lift the chin as high as possible too. Okay, let's go. 10 repetitions, 3 seconds for each. Okay, lights, ready? In 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Lift as high as possible. 1, 2, 3, and down. Good. And let's go. 2, 2, 3, and down. Good. And go. 3, 2, 3, down. And go. Haley, higher the arms. 4, 2, 3, down. And go. 5, 2, 3, down. And go. 6, 2, 3, down. And go. 7, 2, 3, down. And go. 8, 2, 3, down. And go. 9, 2, 3, down. Last one, and go. Last 2, 3, and down. Rest. Good. I hope that is better for some of you. Otherwise, we're going to get into a plank position second. Like I said, just to warm up the wrist. Okay, come plank. In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Remember, push chest away from the floor, rotate the elbow pits to the front. Then you're going to grip fingertips onto the floor as you try to walk your feet forward towards the wrist. Try to lean the head and shoulders forward more. I'm taking the time to warm up the wrist in this extended position, so we are better prepared for any steep angles that we work with. Okay, rest. Good. Back to your wheel or bridge position. So I will remind again. I see some of you, I see that some of you are not walking in as close as you can. So I will remind on that. So if you're already here, I don't require you to fully straighten the legs. If you walk in close enough and it's almost straight, that is okay as well. All right, so remember, feet hip width apart, ground the heel, push the knees straight, and allow the chest to move forward as you try to look up and walk in more. Continue, walk in more, continue, so on and so forth. Okay, come, let's go. Round 2. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Look up, look up, look up. As you straighten the legs or make an attempt to straighten the legs, you will find your chest be pushed forward towards the space opposite of you, which is fine. Try to aim to push your shoulders to the point above the wrist. Okay, rest and come down. Last round. back to the lifting exercise. So if you can't lift or if it hurts on the chest, move the knees further away from the chest so that your support point is slightly lower. Okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1, and let's begin. Lift. 1, 2, 3, and down. Good. As high as possible. Let's go. 2, 2, 3, and down. Good. And go. 3, 2, 3, and down. Good. And go. 4, 2, 3, and down. Good. And go. 5, 2, 3, and down. Good. And go. 6, 2, 3, and down. And go. 7, 2, 3, and down. And go. 8, 2, 3, and down. And go. 9, 2, 3, and down. Last one, and go. Last 2, 3, and down. Rest. Back to the plank position. Let's go. Okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Remember, try to rotate the elbow pit towards the front, as in towards your 12 o'clock direction. And if you can, lean forward more through the head and shoulders. Good. Okay, let's go. Last round, back to the bridge or the wheel. Okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Try to straighten the knees, ground the heels, push your shoulders over the wrist as you're trying to straighten the knees. Shoulders over the wrist, shoulders over the wrist. Try to straighten the knees. Valerie, walk your feet in some more. Okay, rest. So I'm gonna give you the next 5 minutes or so to work with this at your own pace, yeah? So my objective for you is to try to walk your feet in towards your hands as best as possible, yeah? So some of you are still not walking in. I'm gonna give you time to do so. I'm not sure if it's because you are trying to conserve your energy because it's a 30 seconds hold or you're just hesitating. So whatever it is, I'm just gonna give you your own time to work with this. So again, objective, feet as close to hands as possible. Walk in, continue to look between the hands or whatever is the floor space that's behind, try to straighten. Walk in, try to straighten. Walk in, try to straighten. Walk in, try to straighten. All right? So at some point in time, it may be very difficult to straighten. It is fine. Still make an effort to try and straighten, make an effort to look up, and work towards your closest position. All right? So objective, feet as close to hands as possible. Next 5 minutes is yours to work with. If you have questions from here, please feel free to ask.
Can I ask, when you say look up, right, as in I look, my chin looks up or I look down onto the mat?
Uh, look up as in look down onto the mat because I'm orientating based on where I am in space
Okay.
at that current point in time.
So I'm pushing my head inwards lah.
Correct. Try to aim to look at the space between your wrists. Do I make sense?
Okay, okay. Yeah.
Correct, correct. So just to be clear, when I keep talking about looking up, it's the point between your hands, not up to the ceiling. I'm giving that up cue based on where I was at in space, and that might be different for some of you. So just to be even clearer, look up at the space between the hands. So next 5 minutes is yours to work with. Take your time. Rest where you need to rest. Get back into it when you're ready. Li Cheng walk in more. Joey walk in more. And you try to ground your heels of the palm on the floor. Yep, correct. Try to push the shoulders, the chest over the wrist as you attempt to straighten the legs. Yep. Valerie, walk in some more. Yes, Xingyi, that's good. Yep, good. Try to ground the heels, Wendy. Okay, yeah, down. Okay. Lai Hun, as you try to push the legs straight or attempting to, allow the shoulders to move beyond the wrist. Yep. Yes, Christina, that's good. Let's give yourself about 90 more seconds, maybe 1 or 2 more attempts. This can be quite stressful on the wrist, so if you need more break in between, please go ahead. If you need to stop, then you need to stop. That's how it is. Joey, even closer, Joey. Push the chest forward as you straighten the legs, Annie. Chest forward, straighten the legs. Chest forward, straighten the legs. Yep, correct. If you're lying down when you're ready to rest, then just hang around. If you're doing, finish up. I got last 20 seconds on my timer for you to work with. 10 more seconds. Let's let the last 2-person finish up. Okay, let's go for last 20 seconds of this. Done on the wrist stuff. We are not going to do any more bridge, but here's what you're going to do. Let's position our legs wide, so about slightly wider than mat width apart. So your feet will be pointing 45 degrees out or slightly closer towards the front. So just to show, so I don't want all the way front, it's slightly turned out, almost towards a 45 degrees angle. Yeah, just so that we are clear. So slightly wider than mat width. Here's what you're going to do. So you're going to look up at your hands. You're going to push the hips forward, bend to your lowest position. You're going to hold here 20 seconds. All right, keep trying to look at the hands, keep trying to reach your hands towards the floor and stay here. Okay, so let's hold at your lowest standing back bend position. And we're going to stay there, like I said, 20 seconds.
Okay, knees straight or bent.
If you have done this before and you would like to bend your knees in order to get your hands lower towards the floor, go ahead. My first objective is to get you to have your hands as close to the floor as possible. So if that means bending the knees a bit, go ahead. But I would caution some of you, especially because you've never done this before, which I understand. Be very careful. I would say straighten the knees first, then slowly adjust. I don't want you to fall over, okay? Otherwise, let's get ready. In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Slowly move, slowly move. Keep looking at the space between the hands. To your lowest position. Okay, careful, Lai Hun. Hips forward, reach back. Hips forward, reach back. Be careful with this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. .30 seconds break. So Lai Hun, remember, hips forward and slowly reach back. Hips forward, slowly reach the hips back. You still want to maintain a good amount of weight through the ball of the feet, through the toes. You have about 15 more seconds to rest. You and stand by. Okay, ready? Let's begin. In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Go slow with this. Pay close attention to where weight is around the feet. Don't get carried away with reaching back, then you fall over. Three, 2, 1, and up. Good. Rest. We got one last round for this before we start to close and wrap up. Okay, come, let's stand by. Last round. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. Remember, go slow with this. Go slow with this. Hips forward as you slowly reach back. Hips forward as you slowly reach back. Careful. 3, 2, 1. And come up. Good. Okay, good. So let's start to ease out of the back bend stuff. Same usual, the 2 exercises that I always go to work with when we are closing the back bend classes. So first one is your cat cow. So just to quickly run through, on all fours position, you are going to move into the round spine position and actively contract your muscles while in this position. Abs tight, tailbone tucked down to the floor, chin to the chest, spine to the ceiling. Then move out of it. Moving to the arch spine position is not necessary for me, considering that we have done a lot of arching over the last 1 hour. Okay, so let's go. It's either you move in and out of the round spine position or you just stay in the round spine position. Okay, and start now. 30 seconds to work with. So in the round spine position, remember, actively contract the muscles. So specifically the abs, the pecs, the glutes. You're going to try to squeeze those stuff, and up to you whether you want to stay there because it feels fine, good to stay there, or you want to just move in and out of it. Up to you. Okay, and out. Second exercise, and we repeat these 2 for 1 more round. So second exercise is your tuck holds. So let's start from the bottom first, the bottom half of the body. I'm going to have you point your feet and the big toe is on the floor. So you're going to tuck the tailbone up towards the ceiling to press the lower back onto the floor. And as for the upper half of the body, you're going to crunch and try to reach your hands to the space beyond the shin. And we hold here. So take note, the lower back is still on the floor. You're only curling from the upper back. Okay, let's go. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, and begin now. You're allowing your toes to be in contact with the floor, so it helps to encourage more posterior tilt. Tucking the tailbone up towards the ceiling, squeezing the lower abs even harder. 20 more seconds. Okay, rest. 1 more round, back to the cat cow. Almost done. Okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1, and start. Moving in and out of the round spine position or just staying in the round spine position, both is fine. Okay, last one, back to your tuck holds. After this, we are done. Okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1, and start. Last 10 seconds. Okay, good. That's it. Finished. Thank you very much for coming. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Thank you,
thanks,
Zhiqian.
thanks.
Awesome
Yep.
class. Bye.
Yep.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Oops.